Hello, and welcome to another Rouge unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the AS.42 20mm. Pardon the butchering, but the Spa Vibrati AS.42 Sariana was a rather interesting Italian design. Basically, during the North Africa campaign, there was a lot of open desert to fight over, and the need for light vehicles which could effectively fight over these large open deserts was needed. And so the Italians got one of their AB41 cars, modified it to be smaller and lighter, essentially removing the top off, and then slapping a variety of armaments into this open compartment, such as a Beretta 35 20mm autocannon, a Solifun 20mm anti-tank cannon, or even the Italian 47mm gun. Just around about 100 of these vehicles would end up being built, and they ended up performing extremely well for the Italians, as they were a good counter against the British long-range desert group raiding groups, as the Italians were sending their own raiding groups into the desert, and you kind of have this light armoured vehicle play back and forth between the Brits and the Italians, thanks to this vehicle's low profile and also very long fuel autonomy. It carried a bunch of external jerry cans and also the internal fuel tank together. You could have a maximum range of 1.5 kilometers. However, after the North African campaigns, these vehicles would still see use in Sicily and Italy. The Germans would end up using them on the Eastern Front, and after the war, the Italian police ended up using quite a few of these. In-game, the AS.42 20mm is a 25-point recon vehicle available to the 4th Alpini Division, and it has 2 weapons. So you have the 20mm cannon with a heap of armor penetration shells and an even larger heap of high explosive shells. It's a pretty standard AP style autocannon, 35mm of penetration. They do have a slightly higher rate of fire compared to German 20mm autocannons, for example. You also have a bunch of high explosive shells and also the ability to shoot at aircraft. Also, you have a 8mm machine gun, which is a standard vehicle-based machine gun. Down to miscellaneous stats, you are technically armoured with 5mm at front, Reek top armour, 5mm at side thanks to all the jerry cans, and 5mm at back. You do have a radio, you go 43 kilometers off-road, 85 kilometers on the road, have medium stealth and very high optics. In battle, the AS.42 20mm is a pretty awesome reconnaissance vehicle. Compared to the other main reconnaissance vehicle within 4th Alpini, the AB41, the main thing you'll really trade in is the armor for the better autocannon. Because by God, the autocannon on the AS.42 is pretty bloody good. You have essentially the 45-point 20mm autocannon on top of a mobile, slightly armoured platform. And yes, it's pretty good in the APHE ground-based role, but the main thing is that this is also an anti-aircraft unit. A mobile, reconnaissance, radio-based anti-aircraft unit for 25 points. It's cheaper than dedicated AA units, and the ability to have this fast anti-aircraft unit, which can also provide decent ground-based fire support right at the start of the match, is really bloody valuable. Yes, it's not going to be shooting down anything substantial, but you can ward off any lingering reconnaissance aircraft or any fighter planes which decide it's a good idea to strafe your ground units. It does have a major drawback, however, and that is the fact you don't get a whole lot of them. You only get 2 of them in A phase and 4 in B phase. So you really do have to make them count. And really you're going to be buying the A phase ones. Recon units like this are something you're going to send out right at the start of the match. Overall, it's just a really good reconnaissance vehicle, especially for what you're getting for the price. It is vulnerable to, well, pretty much most fire at 5mm is not going to save you from a whole lot, but just the complete multi-role package that the AS.42 can provide is nice, and for the price tag and for early game engagements, it can prove to be a rather critical unit. And well, I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Rouge unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and usual, please just take it easy.